Today we're going to show you a brief overview of how to do some simple UI design in Xcode. Xcode is your program here, which can be downloaded for free from the Mac App Store. So let's click on Xcode here and we'll open up and show you how to do that. When you click on it, it's going to bring you up this screen here. It's going to show you all your recent projects here on the right. When you first open it, you're not going to have any recent projects, so what you're wanting to do is click Create New Project. We'll just do a simple single view application here. You hit next. We're going to name our application. We'll call this UI tester, and then we'll click next here. It's going to ask us where we want to save it. I'm just going to save it here on my desktop, so I'll say create, and now it's created your project here. We just want a simple portrait application, so we're going to uncheck those two. And then we're going to go into the main storyboard here, and that is where we can begin our UI design. So we'll click in here. Let's stretch this out so we can make things a little bit bigger. People can see better. So here's our view controller. It's a single view application currently because that's how we set it up. So we have one view controller here. You'll see on the right here, these are all the built-in UI elements that Apple gives you that you don't have to write any code for. What you can do is you can just click on that, hold the click and drag it over into your view controller. Here's a label. We'll stretch that out a bit, move it around, and you'll see here if you click this arrow, once you have one of the elements highlighted, you can start changing the attributes of that here. So we'll change that to red. Let's make it say, hello, view 1. So we know this is view 1. And we'll place a button on there too. We'll drag that over like before. We'll say forward. We'll click that. Oh, and do you see how that got truncated? Because we did not stretch this out enough to fit the text. And you can change different things about buttons that you can't about labels. You can add an image to them. You can add a background image. You'll just have to go through all these elements and kind of play with them and see what you can do here. It's going to take a while to learn the program, but for today we'll show you how to make a simple application and begin designing things on it. We'll drag another view onto here. That was the view controller that we just dragged on, similar to this one here. Now we'll hit Control and we'll click this button here and hold and then drag to here, and we'll say show. That's going to allow us, when we click this button, it's going to bring us to this view here. And so we'll copy this label over, we'll say copy, and we'll paste. And this is no longer view 1, so let's call it view 2. And we'll copy this button over, and we'll paste. It's no longer forward, we want to go backward. So we'll click that. Oh, it got truncated again, we forgot to stretch it. We'll stretch it, and now we'll do the same as we did with forward to backward, but to view 1. Now, if we want to build this and run it and see what it's going to look like, we'll click this little play button here, and if we didn't do anything wrong, it will build and run on the simulator. Simulator here comes downloaded with Xcode. We'll say forward. Oh, and we brought us to view 2. Backward, view 1. So let's start adding a little bit more of a complex things here, and we'll show you what you can do. So if you had like a cool background you wanted to do, you could do this, stretch it out. This is an image view. This is basically a view that you're going to place an image. But you notice the labels and everything are behind it. So once we place an image, we're probably not going to be able to see those. On the left side here, we can see that we are highlighted on that image view. We can bring that up, and now it's behind those. So let's go and we'll find a cool background that we want to use. Oh, this one's pretty cool there. It's rather large, but what we can do is we can say save image as. And we'll save it to the desktop. Background. Now we'll go in our Finder here and we'll find that image that we just saved, and I'll drag it over to our project here. And that is going to bring up this new file options for adding. Make sure the copy items is needed is checked, because we do need them copied over if they need to be. And then we'll say finish. And now you'll notice if you click in here, it's not going to show up because we're highlighted on the image itself, the image view. We'll have to click out so it kind of can refresh itself. Now you can click in here and say background. And now we have our goofy background that we chose. Now we can click and run it and see that that background is on there. You can do some stretching of it and everything to fit everything. But that's just a simple overview of how to do this stuff. So here's your UI elements here. You can drag them on and start changing them within the attributes manager here. You can click play to run everything and view it on the simulator. So from now on, it's just going to take practice and messing around with things to get how everything works. If you have any questions, let me know. There's a lot of information out there on Google on how to do this stuff as well. Thanks guys, I hope that helps.